For those of you that are tuning in for the first time, I'm the founder of Positive Discipline UK and a lead trainer for the Positive Discipline Association. So I'm here to share with you some tips and strategies to help you get through this challenging time. We've talked about self-regulation and taking a positive time out and creating a space in your home where you can go and do that with your children. We also talked about routines. And today we're going to be talking about asking for help, getting children to be more helpful around the house and do chores, and taking time for training. So before I begin, I'm just going to review what we did last night a little bit. And just so you know, I will be going live every night, Monday through Friday at 8:30 p.m. London time, UK time. It will be recorded, so I'm happy to have you look at it another time and share it with your friends so that they can get the tips and tools, especially if they're in another time zone and can't be live. So just to review from last night, first of all, many of you have shared privately some routine charts that you made, and I would love it if you would share it on the Facebook page so that you can motivate and inspire others. Some of you have shared positive timeout spaces you've created. So if you can share images, that would be really helpful to others. So please do that. Secondly, I received a question last night from a parent about routines, and some of the questions were on the live chat and I didn't see them because it was rotating and I'm not really good at this yet. So I apologize, but I did answer those questions below after the session. But someone emailed me and they said, they asked how I felt about having the kids stay in their pajamas all day since they're not really going out. And my first kind of response was, well, how productive are you when you stay in your pajamas all day? I know I'm not very, very productive. So I think it's great to have a pajama day on a rainy weekend. But I think it's really important to stick as much as you can to your daily morning routine and bedtime routine to give a sense of safety and normalcy for your children. So getting up, getting dressed. Now, that doesn't mean you have to do your hair and makeup every day. You can tell that after just 3 days, I've kind of let that go a little bit. But getting up, getting dressed is really an important part of the day. So try to do that as much as possible. I'm just looking at my notes so I don't forget anything. So as far as what you can do now to help your children, and I can't see the live feed. Maybe no one's on here live. So I'm just going to keep going and message me if you're not getting your question answered. So as far as asking for help, in my blog last week, I spoke about routines and in last night's session, and I've had a lot of people ask me about chores and should chores be a part of the daily routine, especially during this time. My answer is yes, yes, yes. Chores are a really great way to give children a sense of contribution. And when children can contribute, we know that they feel a stronger sense of belonging, of capability, and really a sense of significance, a sense of purpose, that they're contributing to the greater good. It's also important to know that contribution actually kind of lights up the reward center in the brain. So it releases those feel-good hormones like serotonin and dopamine. So contribution is a really great way to actually boost your children's mental health. A couple of tips that I want to share with you, which is really important, is that one thing that you can do for contribution is to ask for help. So that's one of our first tools for today. So as many times as possible throughout the day, if you can ask your children, just for some help, you're giving them that opportunity. So start first thing in the morning. Ask your child if, they want to help make fresh squeezed orange juice for the family. It's important to note that if you are asking for help and you're doing that unconditionally, okay, without, manipulating, you don't want to coerce them. So it has to be voluntary. If they say no, they don't want to help, let it go. Okay. And this is not the chore bit. This is just asking for help. If they say yes, great. Teach them how to cut up the oranges and use the machine and pour it, depending on their age, how much help do they need. So give them that opportunity. And when they help, make sure that you really appreciate them and show your gratitude for their help. The next tip, and we do know also that helping and contributing, it's innate in us. It's something that children want to do. They strive to do from the time that they're very, very young. At the age of 1, I remember my daughter showing signs of wanting to help and be a part of. She would say, "Me do it, me do it." And that's a great, during those times, more importantly, during those times, we have to stop and pause and have patience and take time for training, because the more that they do, the more confidence they will have. So why do we do things for children that they can do for themselves? Well, obviously it's more efficient, right? It's quicker, it's easier, and it gets done right. Meaning it gets done our way. Okay, so part of this is kind of letting go a little bit of things being done our way. And right now we kind of have all the time in the world, don't we? So this is the perfect time to take time for training, to show them steps and teach them a lot of the life skills that will really benefit them in the future. So this is a golden nugget that I want to share with you. So if the only thing you leave here with today is this, then I'll be really happy. So this golden nugget is, don't do anything for a child that they can do for themselves. I'll repeat that. Don't do anything for a child that they can do for themselves. When you do things for children that they can do for themselves, you're robbing them of the opportunity to really contribute and help. So, it's tempting. It's tempting for me to do things for my daughter. One, because I don't want to see her struggle. And sometimes I just want to get it done. But I really think about the long-term results. And what am I really teaching her? I want to teach her to be a capable, contributing member of society. I don't want to teach her to be an entitled, spoiled brat where she feels that everything has to be done for her. So keeping that in mind, the longer term goal, even though right now it's really easy to just focus on the short term because we're all just kind of in survival mode a bit. And one thing to note, and I haven't mentioned this in the other 2 sessions, is that all of the tools that I'm sharing with you, they also fit into all relationships. So with your colleagues, with your extended family, with your spouse, your partners, your friends. So as I'm sharing this, think about also how this connects to the rest of your family. So I know that my husband and I are spending a lot more day-to-day time together, obviously, both working from home. And so thinking about how this would, in fact, go along with that relationship. So I remember when I moved in with my husband, I remember my mother giving me one of her golden nuggets. And she said to me, "Joy," it was kind of one of the best advice, "Joy, don't do anything once that you don't want to do for the rest of your life." It's a little bit different than this, but it was really good advice. And what it meant is that my husband and I really had to sit down and talk about what were the ways that we both wanted to contribute. So that was really good for me to have in the back of my mind. So I'm just noticing that there's some people live that I want to say. My mom's on live. She's here. Hi, Mom. See, I shared your advice. She's in New York, and I have some folks on here from California and Italy. So it's really nice to see people from around the world. So thank you for joining. So I would like to actually talk about this taking time for training with kids and teaching them some of these life skills. So actually, I'm going to read an excerpt from the book that I co-wrote with Jay Nelson and Christina Bill, Positive Discipline for Today's Busy and Overwhelmed Parents. And I think we're all feeling a bit overwhelmed at the moment. So I'm just going to read, this is in our troubleshooting section in the back of the book, where we have the top 20 challenges that parents face. And number 4 is chores. So I'm going to read about that. Training is an important part of teaching children life skills. Don't expect children to know what to do without step-by-step training. It's also helpful to remember that their standards of cleanliness differ wildly from yours. So you can't simply tell your child to clean his room and expect him to clean it to your satisfaction. When it comes to chores or other tasks around the home, it's important to remember not to use bribery or rewards. Rewards cover up the inner good feeling of accomplishment that helps children develop a strong sense of capability. So I love this example that we use about cleaning the room. So Mom, you're gonna love this one. You might comment. That when my mom would tell us to clean our room when we were younger, and this really wasn't me misbehaving, but my definition of a clean room and my mother's definition of a clean room were very different. So, she had said to me, bed is made and there's nothing on the floor, everything's put away. So I would make my bed and I would shove everything under the bed or in the closets, and there was nothing to be seen. And then before, we went out, she would come up and check the room. And she would go, oh, wow, that was really quick. And you did a great job. And then she'd open up the closet and things would fall out on her. And, again, it wasn't that I was misbehaving or trying to be manipulative or get away with something. It was just, put things away, get them out of sight. And that was my definition of cleaning. So make sure that your expectations are really clear. So with the tool Take Time for Training, again, I'm going to read this from the book, but I do want to share that we also have, Jane Nelson has created these tool cards. There's 52 tool cards for parents. And this is if you can manage to get a deck from her website, positivediscipline.com. You can order them there. You can also download them on the App Store, so you can have them for yourself straight away. But this is Take Time for Training. So actually, I'll read this from the card. Training is an important part of teaching children life skills. Don't expect children to know what to do without step-by-step training. What do you mean by clean? So here we go. Number 1, kindly explain the task as you perform it while your child watches. That's step 1. Step 2, do the task together. Step 3, have the child do it for herself while you supervise. And step 4, when she feels ready, let her perform the task on her own. So you don't just have, especially young children, just throw them out there and say, okay, do this. So really think about making sure that you've worked with them. And with my toddler, there's very little that I have her do on her own. Even tidying up her toys, she's only 2.5, I still do with her, okay? But I'm not doing it for her, and that's really important. The next thing I'm going to read from here is, the next tool is practice. Practice is an important part of taking time for training. For example, let children take a turn setting the timer to see how long it takes for them to do all the tasks on their chore chart or anything else you want to teach. Ask your children what ideas they have to improve their time. Keep solving problems together and keep practicing. So the more they do it, the better they will get. Now, I don't see any questions, so I'm gonna keep going, and I'm actually gonna share. I created a list of things that can help, some ideas of age-appropriate things that kids can help do. So from the time my daughter was 1, believe it or not, she was doing laundry. It doesn't mean she was doing all the laundry, but I would throw the clothes on the floor and she would just toss them piece by piece into the washing machine. That was the first step. Then the next step was she would take them out of the washing machine and hand them to me, and I would put them in the dryer. She would also push the start button, and she felt really good about that. So you can do laundry from a very young age. Putting the dirty diapers in the trash. Kids love putting things in the trash, believe it or not. And it's a great opportunity to teach them about throwing away trash and recycling. I can see any suggestions to discourage a 2.5-year-old from throwing everything in sight. So you mean throwing things around. I think actually tomorrow night's session about misbehavior and the belief behind the behavior will really help. But taking time for training is really helpful with that as well. I'm just going to go through this list and then I'll get back to that if I think we haven't answered that a bit. Cleaning up messes with wipes or paper towels, they can do that. Picking up their toys. Now, this is the deal, to get back to your question. Picking up their toys, even though it sounds simple to us, it really takes a lot of modeling, a lot of mirroring, So you need to be doing that with them and talking. I love to have a cleanup song with my daughter. We have two cleanup songs, one from her nursery and one that I sing. And I let her choose which cleanup songs she wants to do, and make it fun, people. Fun is really important. Pushing buttons, I already said that. Offering a hug when someone's feeling hurt or bad. Hugs are a great way for them to contribute. Now with toddlers, so these are some things I've been doing with my daughter recently. We've been making fresh juices. We've been letting her cut up cucumbers with her safety knife. The other fruits and veg that are difficult, we've still been doing. She puts all of the items into the juicer. She pushes it down. She empties the pulp out. So there's lots of steps that she's learning. Vacuuming, dusting, making pizza and salads, getting themselves dressed. And it's really helpful to have them start with their pajamas. But they still need help with zippers and snaps. Start the zipper and let them finish it. Clearing up their dishes after dinner, putting them in the sink. Folding laundry, actually just starting with washcloths, really simple things. Separating their socks, unloading the dishwasher. This needs a lot of supervision, but they can do it even with glass. Sweeping, dusting, cleaning. I want to show you what I had bought my daughter when she turned 2, and they have this in her nursery. I don't know if you're familiar with Melissa and Doug, all those wooden toys and stuff, but they have a cleaning set, and you can see there's a mop and a broom and a duster and a dustpan, and Chloe loves using this, and we do it together. So hopefully you can still get that on Amazon. And for elementary school, obviously you can do a lot more with them. So let them create the grocery lists that you need, especially now, thinking about what do we really need. Let them prepare meals. I know even with my toddler, she gets to stir when we make pancakes, and even cracking eggs she can do. Have older kids put away their laundry, fold their laundry, clean their rooms. Again, that requires a lot of the positive discipline tools for cleaning rooms. Clearing dishes at meal times, unloading the dishwasher, vacuuming, dusting, gardening. It's a great thing to do right now if you have a garden, planting veg and learning how to do that. It is important to note that some of these chores are done with more enthusiasm than others. So keep that in mind. Don't expect them to be as excited about it as you are, but make it as fun as possible. And you can come up with ways to rotate chores that people do in the household, and let people choose what they enjoy first, and then divvy up the things that no one enjoys doing so that it's fair. So I'm going to try to end this before 20 minutes today. I'm reducing it as we go. This is only my 3rd session, so I'm getting a little bit better. I'm happy to see some people on the call, and I hope that you'll share this with your friends. It will be uploaded in a few minutes afterwards. The next session tomorrow night is about misbehavior and understanding the belief behind the behavior, basically what's motivating behavior. And if you have younger kids, talking about, the reasons that we see behavior as misbehavior, and maybe it's actually not misbehavior. So we'll delve into that a little bit more. I also wanted to remind you that tomorrow morning and every morning, Monday through Friday, we are doing a children and parents meditation, mindfulness, affirmation, song and dance session. It's about 15 minutes, and you can join live on the Happy Resilient Kids Facebook group. We had a great session today with Annabelle and Alex, and tomorrow it will be me and Chloe and Max coming live to you. So I hope that this helps. Kathy, getting back to your suggestion about discouraging your 2.5-year-old from throwing everything in sight, one thing that you can do, and we'll be talking about this, is being kind and firm, and saying, I know I can see how much you like to throw, and we don't throw toys around the house. What can you throw, and where can you throw it? So using curiosity questions and being kind and firm. and finding ways to be throwing things that's appropriate rather than just tossing everything around. And sometimes showing them what can be thrown. Have a bunch of balloons and have fun with the balloons and let them throw them up in the air. So at 2.5, it's a really age appropriate behavior to be throwing things. So again, it's taking time for training. And we'll go over that a little bit more tomorrow night when we talk about the belief behind the behavior. So I hope everyone enjoyed the session, and I hope to see you tomorrow night at 8:30. Have a great night and stay well. Bye.